The Walleye Wrap is brought to you by UA Local 50 Plumbers, Steam Fitters, and Service Members.
Thanks. Talking about the Toledo Walleye for this week, of course, when we look back on this past week, they had 3 games riding a 10-game point streak. Toledo going into Wednesday night's game against Evansville 7-0-3 in their previous 10 games prior to Wednesday, which was a Toledo Walleye record. Could they keep that streak going? Let's show you what happened over the past week. Let's start Wednesday night against Evansville. Jake Patterson got the start for the Toledo Walleye, and things started good for Toledo. Power play goal, Alden Hirschfeld. Alden having a great start to the year. Toledo led 1-0. He wasn't done, though. Another power play for Toledo, and on the rebound, Hirschfeld there, his 7th power play goal of the year. That leads all players in the ECHL. Alden Hirschfeld, and he leads Toledo in goal scoring. Jake Patterson came up with a big save there on the breakaway. Evansville, though, would try to tie it. They got a break off of the stick of Jared Nightingale there, made it a 2-1 game, tied it 2 in the third, and Evansville on the power play. They would take the lead, and they would take the game. 3-2 the final. The Walleye falling to Evansville, snapping that 10-game unbeaten streak. Let's go to Friday night. Toledo in a big matchup with second-place Wheeling going into the weekend. This was a very physical game. It was the theme for the weekend. Of course, if you remember from the April playoff series that went 7 games between these two teams, no doubt it's going to be a physical affair. Just still scoreless in the second period. Austin Withrich, though, he buried it top corner of the net. What a shot for the first-year forward out of Notre Dame, and the Teddy Bears came down. Of course, it was Teddy Bear Toss Night, brought to you by BCSN, and the fans certainly followed suit. They brought a ton of Bears down to the Huntington Center. Toledo leading 1-0 in the third period, but Riley Brace would tie it with that goal in the third. We're knotted up at 1 in the 3-on-3 overtime. Jeff Lerg, not only did he make that save on a breakaway, he came up with another one, and we went to a shootout. And in the shootout, A.J. Jenks goes 5-hole there on Wheeling goaltender Frankie Palazzese. Jeff Lerg goes 3 for 3 in the save department, including that one on Brace, and Toledo picked up the 2-1 victory in a shootout. That moves us to Saturday night down in Wheeling and the rematch, and this one would see Toledo again score first. They went 7 games without getting the first goal. Well, they scored first in all 3 this past week. A.J. Jenks finds the back of the net there in the first period. We're tied at 1. Early second, a tough one going against Toledo here off the turnover. Zach Torquato finds the back of the net. A little controversy with that one. Wasn't sure if it went in or not, but it made it 2-1 Wheeling, and they would explode. That was the first of 3 goals in a 5-minute span in the second period, as Wheeling would continue to bolster their lead. Here's the third of the 3, and it comes right at the side of the net for Wheeling. There you go, from the right circle. They had a 4-1 lead, and they go on to a 6-2 win over the Toledo Walleye. So a tough finish to the week for the Walleye, as they end up dropping 2 out of 3 over the past week. Here's what they've got coming up. It's a 4 games in 5 days before the holiday break for the Toledo Walleye, starting Wednesday morning. The second time, Toledo will take a school celebration day to the Huntington Center Ice. This time, the Indy Fuel will be in town, a 10:30 start time for that game. And then it's off to Brampton. The Walleye will take on the Brampton Beast in Brampton, Ontario. Toledo will then return home on Saturday night to host the Manchester Monarchs, and the Walleye will wrap up the week with a Sunday afternoon game in Indianapolis. 2 games on the road this week. We'll show you how they do coming up next week when we take another Walleye Wrap. Back to you.